Hello everybody, welcome back. This is game number 3 in the GO4SC2 tournament semifinals between MaDFroG, the blue Zerg player, and Adelscott, the orange Protoss player. So this is game number 3 and we're on Lost Temple. So MaDFroG did end up losing that last game, so he picked Metalopolis. So he did pick Metalopolis here. This is a very Zerg friendly map. This is I would think maybe one of the most balanced maps in the entire game. I've seen this played by almost every single race in many of the matchups for tournaments. So the loser does pick. So MaDFroG picking. Actually, let me hold off on that statement. Actually, I'm not quite sure. These maps may actually be pre-selected, but I think what happens is in this tournament, the first map is picked by the rules in the tournament, and then following maps are chosen by losers. So I'm pretty sure this map was chosen by MaDFroG. This is a very great map for a Zerg player. But unfortunately, he has a great map, but he has bad spawning positions. He's going to have close spawns against Adelscott, and he does not want that. So we're going to see right now what he decides to do. So we saw two completely different playstyles from MaDFroG. First game going for a 7 pool. Next game going for like a 15 hatchery in his main, and then making another hatchery at the gold. So he's going with two completely different styles. So if I was Adelscott, I would be completely confused. I would have no idea what I was up against. But fortunately for him, he's got close spawn positions, so he'll be able to scout this out very easily. Looks like MaDFroG is going for something a little safer this game. He's going to try and pull out the victory. He's down to, they're tied at 1-1, so he's probably going to go for something safe this game. No fast expos yet, and just getting that regular time spawning pool. Adelscott getting getting some zealots and actually rallying them down here, rallying them straight to the base, and in position to deny that expo. Choosing not to go for a second gateway, he's probably just going to go for a standard cybernetics core. Yes, he probably is with the simulator popping up. So Overlord's in position, does see that worker, and this zealot coming in, and does he have anything to deal with that? He has a queen coming out and 6 lings. So coming up here to harassment, you're going to try and get 1 or 2 kills on the drones. Does get 1, very nice. Going to maybe get a second here. Oh, oh wow, that actually escapes. So he's going to try and do some fancy micro here, pick off a couple links, but he's actually not going to get any of them. He probably should just actually, instead of doing that fancy micro and just doing a little bit of hits, every time he moved away, if they switched target on those lings and he didn't manage to kill a single ling there, he probably should just moved into it and actually got 1 kill. So 2 zealots versus 6 lings is not good for the lings. You're going to lose this very heavily. You do not want to fight that, especially with those half HP lings. They will get 1 shot at that situation. So you're going to push up here, try to scout it out. And MaDFroG going for an expansion after feeling that went very well. And he's going to get denied by that bodyguard, that bouncer zealot at the front door. So more lings streaming out and metabolic boost being researched. He has not yet pulled those workers off gas, so I'm kind of surprised there with that. So these zealots going to try and take down this expo. And these lings doing a very decent job. They're actually maybe kill that 1 zealot. No, doesn't kill the 1 zealot. So doing some decent micro, and actually they should probably just get away right now, wait for their shields to recharge, and then come back in. It looks like this expo is going to get up, and we'll see if we get some spine crawlers thrown down for MaDFroG. So this queen going to push back up here to the main and go back and inject some larvae with 3 zealots coming in right now, and he actually has quite enough lings. We should be able to kill this off without losing too many lings. And some fancy micro actually does get out of there, but he's going to lose them. So just steadily pumping lings out with a little bit of drone production in between. So Adelscott did manage to make that Zerg player waste a lot of larvae on drones, and even though he basically went even with the zealots, but the bonuses that not only do you kill the lings, but you force them to waste money on lings instead of drones. And as a Zerg player, that's something I can tell you from personal experience you do not want to have. So you can see the effect of that right now is the harvester difference, because the Protoss player has just actually, I don't know if he has been chrono boosting, he's got a lot of it built up right now, but you can see the difference in harvesters, just forcing the Zerg player to spend all of his larvae on speedlings this early in the game. Denies those drones. So you're probably going to start drone pumping pretty hard. after pushing Adelscott back to his base. So we can see 3 warp gates right now, a forge and a another gateway. So it looks like a 4 gateway build. And Adelscott building all those gateways at the very front entrance. I think that was a little bit of a mistake on his part. So he just showed MaDFroG that, hey, I'm going at least 3 gates. Oh, he's going to actually sneak in. Run in there, run in there. Go, go, go. Yes, he's going to actually run in there and scout out all of this. He's going to see the one more gateway and the forge. So we may see a attack 1 timing push or just attack right now. Looks like he's going to attack right now. Oh no, and MaDFroG has no spine crawlers, feeling overconfident. He's just now thrown up the spine crawler. It's going to be way too late. This is not good. He's going to lose a lot of units right here. We're just going to see maybe some clutch force fields. So MaDFroG wants to make him waste some force fields before actually initiating, but a couple of decent force fields. There's quite a few lings right now. I think he's actually going to fight this off. Losing 1 sentry, losing a couple zealots, and managing to kill most of the forces. He did allow time for the spine crawler to finish. I think he should throw up like 2 or 3 more spine crawlers right now. So Adelscott with a very good army lead right now. And let's check the income. I think he has an income lead. Yes, still has that. Still has that income lead. Forced the Zerg player to spin that drone on that spine crawler, which is of course lost income. Even bringing this queen down for protection. So he's building up quite a big 4K army, researching that like ground 1 attack upgrade. So we're probably going to see Adelscott wait for that to finish. He's built a pretty big army up and maybe going for another timing attack at that point. And of course, if it fails, he has the very good expansion in place, so that'll allow him to go into the mid and late game. So very nice pylon back here in this hidden corner. Just the basic things that a good player does every single game. So getting some photon cannons here to cover his front door, and I like this, building this 1 pylon, just 1 pylon here to make the choke point even smaller so that it makes it easier to force field, because if you force field you can miss it just by 1 spacing, all the links get through here. But if you just build 1 pylon here, you cut the distance in half, the width in half of your entrance, and it makes it a lot easier to force field that. So MaDFroG just with 1 spine crawler, I really think he needs to build like 4 or 5 spine crawlers. He's seen the 4 gateway, and he knows that he can just get crushed at any moment. So I really think he's messing up here with not getting enough spine crawlers. So see, production-wise, we only have 2 more speedlings coming out, and this attack is going to do tremendous amounts of damage, I think. And here we see MaDFroG throwing up. Oh, there's banelings coming in. Where'd they come from? So banelings coming in, doing tons of damage all over the place. Wow, we saw those sentries just drop like rocks, and those zealots get tons of damage on them, most of them dying, and he's just buying time for these spine crawlers to come up. So a couple more of them just streaming in right now. Whoa, very nice force fields. Saved a couple of them, and on the creep, those banelings are extremely fast, around 3.25. So extremely fast. These spine crawlers did manage to get up, but I think if MaDFroG would have made those spine crawlers earlier, he wouldn't have even had to fight that. I think Adelscott would have just seen like 4 or 5 spine crawlers and thought, you know what, I'm not going to fight that yet. But MaDFroG going with a little bit later spine crawler transfusion there on that spine crawler, getting it back up, even building another one right now. And a queen here on the ramp ready to pounce and do some damage. Some more banelings being brought in, which is actually a damn. So Adelscott trying to push up here. He's got those sentries and zealots in the back just hanging out, and he's using these stalkers to try and pick off these spine crawlers. And of course, stalkers don't take as much damage from banelings. Losing a queen there, a little bit of a mistake. So getting a shot on them, but blowing up, that's not going to be a very good effective use of those banelings. He really needs to go for those sentries and zealots that are light units. And just coming here going to go, oh wow, use all 3 banelings in that 1 zealot. That was a big mistake. So Adelscott is slowly whittling away MaDFroG's army. And he has a Spire coming out, but with these number of AA units, I don't know if the Spire's going to be that handy. You can see how low he is. Oh, actually, there's quite a decent amount of gas he's got. He'll probably be able to make 6 or 7 muta whenever this thing finishes, but I think that may be too late here. So even pulling drones out, a couple links streaming out, and just trying to fight this off with everything he has. This is not looking good. He's down to just stalkers, it looks like. Maybe 1 or 2 sentries in there. Yeah, just 1 sentry in there. So losing all of it and actually GGing. So MaDFroG not even waiting around for those mutas to come out. And Adelscott takes this series 2-1. So congratulations to Adelscott. I think MaDFroG didn't make enough spine crawlers early enough, and he kind of made him reactionary after the fact. and I think that caused him to lose the game. But very good play by Adelscott, getting that expo up just in case, and of course just pumping on these 3 warp gates, attacking with 1 attack upgrade, and eventually getting that armor upgrade. But the thing I was going to talk about earlier was the Banelings, because as a Protoss player, you get Zealots and Sentries to counter Speedlings, but Speedlings can morph into Banelings, which do extraordinary amounts of damage to Zealots and Sentries, as you saw there with that first Baneling attack. That was extremely effective. I'm actually start using that. But, of course, force fields can deny Banelings, so you kind of have to come in with like a complete surround, maybe coming from the back and the sides, so that force fields aren't completely as effective. But yeah, I really liked the gameplay from Adelscott there. He definitely deserved that win, and we'll see him in the finals later.